Okay.
Yeah, like the weird noises.
We are live now. Okay, can we do the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll call the meeting to order at 7 o'clock. And can we have a roll call, please?
Ryan Wakeling. Here. Camille Wilcox. Here. Aaron Galassi.
Here.
President Bain.
Here.
Rachel G. Here. Linda Wolfart. Here. Tom Green.
Okay, I need a motion to approve the agenda with one small change. This is for the FY 2021 audit and not the FY 2022 audit. Okay. Can I have a motion to approve?
Make a motion.
Second?
I'll second
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? Motion carries. Let's go to the bills. I'll read the bills. For testing, we've got both halves of the...
Minutes first.
Oh, I'm sorry, the minutes, you're right. Can I have a motion to approve the minutes? And these are the minutes of the Committee of the Whole from April 12th.
Make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Now the bills. Okay. So we've got both halves of the testing contract, $39.58.33 and $39.58.34. Water testing, $31. Sewer testing, $27. Water samples, $11. Sewer testing, $105.50. Sewer testing, $105.50. Biscani for our computers, $126. The awning that was finally installed out front, $1,975, which we had previously appropriated. Boone County Treasurer, our real estate bill, $320.68. Electrical inspections, $17.90. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 bills at $75 apiece for Craig Wilcox for building inspections. And we asked him in the future if he could kind of give them to us a little bit quicker because it kind of screws up our budget. So he said he would try to do that. And then we got another one for $150 from him and another one from $140 from Gina. Fire inspection was to go over our fire suppression system and recertify all our fire extinguishers, $345. ComEd for the water tower, $1132.41. For the pump house, $240.18. For the Shadowbrook well, $1130.79. Electric for 4th Street, $23.47. Village Hall, $9.67. The pump meters, $39.99.44. The lights, $59.93. The Ogden Street Electric, $1664.07. 2 phone lines from Frontier, $167.84. 2 phone lines for Frontier, $527.61. Ace Hardware, so we had to get some supplies for the sewer plant, $17.25. Sickich, our accountant, $13.49. And Barrick Switzer has 3 of them, $22.27.50 for general business. The USDA project, $13.53, and Real Op, which is the trailer park, $1138.50. The water chemicals, $273.28. Supplies for the office, $31.17. And a total is $29,288.43, of which $14,215.01 is going to come out of the general fund. $59.53 comes out of motor fuel tax because we got that approved for our streetlights, and $15,013.49 for water and sewer. Do we have any questions?
I do.
Yes.
Didn't we have the fire inspection and do all that stuff last time?
So this one's different. That one's for the fire extinguishers, but the one that you guys are approving tonight is going to be for all the fire systems throughout the whole.
Okay,
like,
so not
the
the
fire
fire-
inspector, Craig Wilcox,
Okay.
came in and he said that, of course, that we had to have everything for all buildings.
Okay.
Yeah.
They need to be inspected.
Okay.
Thank you.
So it's beyond just the fire
Okay,
extinguishers.
any other questions?
Yeah, why was the, trailer park?
There was a situation, I'm gonna let Tom explain that to you.
We had an entity that approached the village about purchasing, that they were considering purchasing the trailer park. They had done some due diligence and they talked to the county, and the county advised them that the trailer park was in the village of Capron. It is not in the village of Capron. I contacted them and said, what's going on. I had to contact the GPS officer from Boone County. I had to dig out the original annexation agreement and confirm that, I knew we didn't, but I wanted to confirm for her that we didn't get it. And I think she is a very nice person, but just didn't follow through. She found the 2008 annexation agreement, thought that annexed it. It did not. It was just an agreement that described the terms of a future annexation. We never annexed it. The problem got exacerbated, got made worse by the fact that when she discovered that, she said, oh, it's not colored as part of Capron. So she changed the county map and colored it as though it were part of Capron. And I said, well, okay. So I had to walk her through, there's actually a 2018 amended agreement which revoked it, which rescinded it, invalidated it, and that there was never an ordinance passed confirming that that would have actually annexed the property. And she was apologetic and said, I'll reverse it. Took a week or two. I checked it after a week and then called her and said, you still haven't done it, but she got it done. So it was kind of a weird situation, but that's what happened.
Okay. And I asked them if we could go and recoup our expenses, and
Yeah.
not really.
I mean,
So,
because it wasn't real op who did anything, it was just a person who was doing due diligence, trying to decide whether maybe their client wanted to buy it or something. I can't charge them.
But now that.
So now the county is fully.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
they're straightened out
understands
now.
It's their problem.
Yeah,
Because I know
yep.
for years, they keep
Yep.
saying it's ours.
But not only
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
but
So we know.
they're
Yeah.
actually making.
That should be a-
these
that
maps
should be a
now.
dead
They're
issue
actually
now,
gonna do zoning,
okay?
And your brother is actually involved in
Right.
that. Okay. So we're actually gonna get new maps, which is great, because there's a lot of things on that map that don't need to be on there or are on there that shouldn't be. So it
Okay.
actually turned out to be
Right.
actually a good thing, because we're gonna get new maps.
Any other questions on the bills? Okay.
How much was the attorney fee for the trailer?
It was the one for, hold on just a second, Liz.
11:38 and 50 cents.
Yeah, 1138.50.
11:38 and 50 cents.
Okay? So can I have a motion to pay the bills?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Can we do a roll call, please?
Ryan Winkton.
Aye.
Camille Wilcox.
Aye.
Aaron Galassi.
Aye.
President Bay.
Aye.
Rachel G.
Aye.
Linda Wolford.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes, thank you. Under new business, I'm sure a few of you,
Old comments.
oh, sorry, public comments. I'm ahead of myself. Any public comments? Okay, new business. I'm sure a lot of you are aware we had some vandalism.
How about old business?
I don't have any old business. Okay. Yeah,
Say none.
new business. We had some vandalism over the last few days. Somebody's getting happy with a pellet gun, and they shot out a window over here, and they shot out a window at Casey's, and they shot out a window at the dairy barn, and they shot out at a window at the old Public Works building, etc. It's either a BB gun or a pellet gun. From what it looks like to me, it's probably more likely a pellet gun because the hole's a little bigger. The police are aware of it. The sheriff is doing his investigation. As soon as we get a case number, we'll turn it over to our insurance company to get the windows replaced, and that's all I can tell you. I mean, it could have been somebody just driving through town on a Saturday night and decided to whip it out and have fun. It could be somebody whose kid in town has got nothing to do. It could be it could be anybody from anywhere. We just don't know anything, so there's nothing for me to tell anybody. It's not what I would consider a public emergency. I don't think nobody's in dire straits here. It's not gun. If it was guns, it would be a whole different animal, but it's not.
Well, Mr. President,
Is-
oh, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Is there any way we could hook up the cameras back?
We don't have any, we never had cameras on the outside of the building. All the cameras were on the inside of the building. And we were talking about, maybe we'll bring that up for discussion and put some security cameras on the outside,
Because I noticed that
but to be,
some of them had cameras and they didn't get shot up.
well, that's just happenstance, I gotta tell you, okay? I mean, there's a lot of houses with no cameras on them, they didn't get shot up. So I don't think that's part of the equation. Somebody was just having fun.
President Beck, the one comment I have and that we talked about was, to the extent people are watching this, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
If you see anything suspicious.
If you see
call
something, tell
911.
somebody, you know where your kids are and what they're doing at night, all that kind of stuff, okay? I
We live in
mean,
a community that we do not have the finances to have a police department.
no, we don't.
So people have to take it upon themselves. Years ago, when I was a child here, I know we had a lot of guys from.
You were a child here?
Yep.
Oh.
Grew up here. Guys would come in from second shift, and they would cruise around town. And if they saw kids out or anything, they took care,
Yeah.
don't get home, and then they.
It takes a village.
It does, when you don't have the finances and we
Right.
don't wanna be paying for that, then, it means higher taxes.
And if the
we
next
have to be
question
part
is-
Of the solution.
If the next question is, how much would it cost us to have a police officer? It'd probably cost us well over $100,000 for one police officer on one shift.
Right, so
So-
you're more than doubling your taxes.
Yeah, we don't have that kind of money here, and, yeah.
Yep.
Hebron's police budget is like $650,000 a year
For one?
for
Yeah, I
a
think
small
like
full-time police department.
Okay, so,
Yeah, I think like
yeah, well,
3
that's a lot of money, so, okay.
If you're out and
So,
about, look around.
I just wanted to bring it up. The sheriff is aware of it. Everybody needs to keep their eyes open and their ears peeled, and if we catch these people, we catch these people, but we'll get the repairs done as soon as we can. Next on here is our fiscal year 2021 audit, and Chase is here from our accounting, from our auditing firm. He was happy enough to drive over here from McHenry.
I live up in Wisconsin.
Okay, up in Wisconsin, okay. So he's going to go over the results of the audit for fiscal year 2021, which ended April 30th, 2022. Okay? I know it's confusing, but that's the way it is. So you have the floor.
Actually, it ended April 30th, 2021.
Yeah, that's what
We
I-
just finished up FY22 now, you guys.
Yeah, right, you're gonna start that audit
Yes,
process tomorrow.
Correct. As President Banks says, I'm Chase Blazer. Thanks for having me tonight. Normally I stand up, but I don't remember to set my stuff.
Oh, by the way, before you start, we've got copies here if anybody wants to read them. I just didn't have Crystal make any copies because it's a lot of paperwork,
I'll add some
so.
bullet points. We won't be diving into the financials too deep or anything like that. Before I go into the audit details, I want to give Crystal and President Banks a big thank you for helping us out during the audit, getting everything back to us timely. It really helps get everything, expedited and moving along, and their hard work is much appreciated. Overall, for a first-year audit, especially with all new staff here, because I know it's complete turnover since the FY20 audit, everything went fairly well. In addition to the regular audit, in addition to the normal regular audit, we also had to do a single audit this year due to all the funding received from the USDA for the water main project and all that stuff. So that should be the last time a single audit is going to be needed, which is just additional work, it's additional costs and everything. So that should be going now that since the USDA project is wrapping up here, kind of doing so overall, we did issue an unmodified opinion on the audit. An unmodified opinion is the best opinion you can receive. So I'll just start off high level, so everything's looking good from that stance. However, we did have to issue a management letter this year. A management letter is just some things that we noticed, some comments and issues that we came across during the audit. There's 3 levels of comments you can have on a management letter. The highest one is a material weakness. That's kind of a red flag, so you don't really want to see a lot of those. Then you have significant deficiencies, and then you just have other comments for more just general issues. We didn't have any material weaknesses, which was great. We had 4 significant deficiencies. I'll go through those real quick. Missing payroll documentation. Some timesheets were missing for some employees during FY21. That had to do with the switchover in the payroll software that's being used. They were doing tried to go to an app for timesheets, and it didn't really work out, so they went back to normal timesheets and just didn't keep the login stuff for the app. So that's, that seemed like to be a one-off for that year. Some general missing invoices. We did some testing related to the water main construction project, and there's some invoices missing from there. lack of internal control documentation. There was no actual written down internal control procedures for payroll or cash disbursements or cash receipts, so that was one issue we came across. And then the fourth one that we had was segregation of duties in regards to cash receipts and cash disbursements, which I'll say on that is that's a normal, fairly recurring comment to have for a small governmental entity with a limited personnel here in the district. So that's usually that segregation of duties comment is probably gonna be on every audit manual going forward from here on out. Because you just can't have all the duties segregated as you'd like with just two people coming in and gonna do stuff. And then the two other comments that we had on the management letter, one was there was an inter-fund transfer made between the water sewer fund and the general fund that was not approved by the board beforehand. So that just a reminder, just making sure all transfers between funds are getting approved by the board. And then the last one was that the village had bank deposits in excess of FDIC insurance coverage by roughly $800,000 a year. So we just brought it up to the bank's attention and said, hey, this might be something you guys might want to look into getting collateral for, personal collateral, just in case something does happen to the bank. All those issues, besides the segregation of duties comment, I believe have either already been corrected or are in the process of being corrected.
They've all been corrected.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
should hopefully no longer be an audit for the FY22 audit that we're starting out
Yeah.
tomorrow. So that's great. Now, financial highlights. I know not everyone has an audit report, so I'm not going to say flip to these pages or anything. But total governmental funds, fund balance, the fund balance of all the governmental funds went up roughly $20,000 during FY21, which gives you an ending combined total of just under $740,000 in your governmental funds. Some fund-specific amounts, MFT fund had a $222,000 fund balance at the end of FY21, which, when you put it this way, that's roughly 3 years' worth of FY21 expenses sitting in fund balance, which is great to see. And then the general fund had a $518,000 fund balance, which equates out to just under 1 year worth of FY21 expenses sitting in fund balance. Which is, for general fund, that's not bad. Usually they try to get that up around 1.5 is where you'd like to see that. But then water and sewer fund, that position increased to $1.3 million during FY21, and that's just getting really inflated due to all the USDA fund grants received during that year. Normally it's going to be a lot lower than that, but that just bumped up the number quite a bit. At the end of FY21, total cash balance for the village was sitting at roughly $1,050,000. So if you base that off the FY21 expenses, again, just to kind of get an idea, that means the district has, like I said, there's about 13 months worth of expenses sitting in cash account year, which is that's really good to have there. So all things considering, the funds appear to be in good overall shape. And those were pretty much the main financial highlights I wanted to touch on and go through everything. Does anyone have any questions?
So we're solvent,
Yeah, you guys,
and the books are straight.
You're looking
Okay.
good so far.
All right.
I know you got a lot to do with the USDA loans that you have to be paying back in the future, but I know you got that going through the water system.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
any issue with that.
Yep. Yeah, and like I said, we're starting the introduction meetings tomorrow for the FY 2022 audit, which ended last week. And we'll hope to have that done, about 3 months or so?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
ideally even quicker, it all depends on.
Yeah. Yep, so, I thank you. Anybody got any questions?
Is there a plan to upload this information to?
Yeah,
the
Crystal's gonna
website?
put this on the website,
Okay.
so, it'll be up there probably in a couple of days, right?
By tomorrow.
Okay, by tomorrow? Okay. Yeah, so it's gonna be on the website. I wanna keep all the financials and all this stuff, available to everybody, and that's what that website's for. So, any other questions? All right. Thanks, Chase.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Everyone have a good night.
Okay, have a good night. Drive careful.
Tomorrow.
Okay. All right, next thing we have the task orders for Strand. All this is an extension of the current agreement that we have with them. There's two of them. There's 19-1 and 21-01, and we're gonna have amendment number 3 for the 19 and amendment number 1 for the 21. And basically, all it comes down to is on the 2101, they're changing the compensation to $24,000 from $20,000, and on the general one, they're going to change it from $40,000 to $55,000. Now, this is anticipatory. Doesn't mean we're gonna spend this, okay? Because we don't really have any projects coming up at the moment that we need any engineering done on. So it's probably gonna come in under that, but this is what they want us to extend it to. So, do we want to have any discussion about that? We're not voting on this tonight. We're not gonna vote on this till the next meeting. But do we have anybody want to say anything or ask anything, or
So they're just asking us to up at 15?
say?
They're just asking us to raise it 15
They're asking us to raise it 15.
from 40 to 55?
Well, I don't know exactly why they want to put so much on there. I got a feeling that they changed it, due to the amount of work that they did with the USDA water project.
Okay.
So that kind of skews everybody's numbers.
Okay.
So, but like I said, I don't anticipate spending all that. We budgeted for the FY 2023 budget, we budgeted $50,000 for engineering services.
Okay.
So, it kind of falls close to that. And I don't, like I
So it's not
said,
saying we're spending that, it's just
this is just,
Yeah.
this is just an umbrella agreement, if you will, okay? All right, so we're not voting on it, think about it, you got any questions later on, we'll talk about it, okay? Next on here is the date for our annual garage sale. We usually have it in July, I think. And I want to know, first of all, if you want to have a village garage sale. We've always had one. So all I want you to do is think about when you want to have it, and we'll discuss it in depth at the next meeting. But I'd like to get it done before we get to July, okay? Next thing on this is our water report. So I'll read you what I wrote, and then we're gonna get into a couple of discussions, if you will, okay? All our water analyses were within specification. They inspected all 3 sites. The blower we dropped off was not economical to repair. We've gotten a replacement ordered, and lead time on that was 8 to 10 weeks. It's going to be a different brand, but the lead time for the same blower we had was 8 to 10 months, so 10 times as long. We're going to start getting game plan for projects once the weather breaks. The main one will be cleaning and testing water main valves. And I appropriated $10,000 to replace water main valves with the ARP money, which has been approved. And then it says, all operations and plant inspections have been performed by me or under my direct supervision. If you have any questions concerning the above, please do not hesitate to contact me, signed Ian. Now, I know that the EPA issued a few violation notices, and I want Ian to explain what and why and what he was supposed to do, etc.
Basically what happened was there was a supply issue with plastic bottles in the fall last year. The lab couldn't get bottles. By the time they got bottles and they got to us, it was past the sample date time. It's a very minor violation. It just highlights as a violation on the CCR. Everything's been handled. We've already resampled, and the things that we were going to test for were monitor-only requirements anyway. So even if they were high, low, different, it's a monitor-only thing. So it's nothing we could have done, or no action would have been taken if they would have came back any certain way. But like I said, they were resampled the following quarter, and I mean everything's fine now. It's all pretty much water under the bridge. The public notice is the CCR. If it was a major violation, we would need to issue public notice immediately, not with the CCR. If you guys got any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
No, and
Basically, the long and short
yeah.
of it.
I'd like to add, they are required to use an approved laboratory, and the laboratory is required to use an approved supplier. So it's not like if they don't get them from this guy, they can go to the other guy and get them. They can't. So testing's hands are tied based on the supply chain. And sometimes it falls, and there's nothing we can do. But it really wasn't testing's issue. It wasn't their fault, and there really wasn't anything they could do about it except do the samples when they got the appropriate containers to do so.
I do want to say, I had questions, and you immediately responded.
Yeah.
I sent it, I think, just to you,
Yeah.
maybe, to Crystal, and within no time, you responded very well. So
mean,
I
we're always
appreciate
here.
that quick response.
Yeah, I mean, I always have my phone on me. You want to call, text, email. But email will probably be the slowest response, because my phone doesn't alert try and respond as quickly as I can. I mean, even if it's 10 o'clock at night, it might be a little delayed, but you'll get a response.
I appreciate it.
Okay, any questions? Okay, one more thing on the water report. We have an issue. And Jason took some pictures of what is going through our sewer plant and our lines. And it's a major problem because how much do these pumps cost? 10 grand a piece?
The cheap ones.
Hmm?
The cheap ones are around 10,000 a piece.
Okay.
The big issue is the problem is it's not going to wreck one thing. You know, it's so hypothetically, if
Here,
it tears up
pass
the
them down there.
screen, you know, or damages the basket in the screen, which is what you guys have pictures of, the screen is about $100,000. The next step in the process is the grit removal. If the grit chamber gets messed up, it's another $120,000. And then if it gets to the SBR treatment tanks and gets stuck on a mixer and burns up a mixer, that's $50,000. So every component that has a chance of getting broke
So,
from rags,
yeah.
which is what all that stuff is, it's you know, what they call flushable wipes, baby wipes, diapers, tampons, pads, all that stuff that, I don't know what kind of toilets the people in town have, but they're pretty amazing to get that kind of stuff out.
So what I would like to do is I would like to send out a mailing to everybody explaining exactly what they can and cannot put in down their drains with these pictures, and explain what the ramifications are if we don't fix this problem. I would figure $500 to solve a $250,000 or $300,000 problem is not a bad thing to do. And I don't know how else to get a hold of, because if you go online, and we probably got 20 or 30 people watching this meeting, and maybe 5 or 6 or 10 people go on the website and look at things, and we've got to let everybody know that this is not acceptable. We can't live like this. It's going to shut down our sewer plant, and we're going to have a real problem on our hands, not to mention money.
And
So,
ultimately, it's the residents that will have to pay.
yeah, and it's the residents that are doing this, so we need to explain to them that this is a no-no.
I know
We've
one
had
time
this issue
before
for
it was,
years.
yeah,
And-
Jason made a comment, I think, because they were putting stuff down them, and I know they even said they were gonna check different places and see where they were coming from, like.
That's-
what
yeah, but
section
still,
of
that
town.
doesn't-
Everything from nylons to you
Yes,
name it.
yes,
yes, that's what I heard,
And I
yeah.
don't know how to stop people from doing
So-
things.
I want you to think about it, and at the next meeting, I would like to, if we can, it's gonna cost us probably about $500 to do it, but I just think it's money well spent.
I think we should do some kind of checks to see where they're coming from.
You can tell the area, can't you, that they're coming from, kind of?
Not really, because you guys don't have a lot of lift station. You only have one lift station in town, and everything else is gravity.
Yeah.
And the new part of town that has the lift station it is bad. We have to go down there and pull those pumps apart and clean the rags out of them every 2.5, 3 months. It's a problem in all towns, really. And the only way to really find out where it's coming from is eventually the person's lateral line is gonna get blocked up with their own stuff, and they'll have somebody out there jetting it, or, you know, whatever.
Pushing it down through
We
the-
did find, this is a little off topic, but we did find a report from the 90s of when you guys had somebody come in and clean and televise the entire system. And that would be something that you could do to do that, but you would have to spread it out over the course of a couple of years because it's so expensive. I mean, it's rough. I don't know how much exactly it costs, but I know we're doing it in Poplar Grove, and we're just doing the old part of town, and it's, you know, we budgeted $25,000 a year, and we're only doing pieces of town that we know we have issues in. But to find out exactly where it's coming from it's tough.
So you can't go down in actually the sewers. I thought that's what Jason had told me once before, that
You
you
can-
could
we
go
can
down
pop-
in the sewers in the areas and you could see where it was coming from.
You can pop manholes and look and see if there's any kind of blockage, but most of the time it is gonna go with the flow of water, because it's always usually one or two. It just all ends up at the wastewater
Right,
plant.
okay.
And what you guys have pictures of is what's referred to as the fine screen, and its job is to catch all that stuff. But when it's in that kind of quantity, it's hard to catch it all, and stuff
Yeah.
does get through.
So I
Will
just,
this be in bilingual?
yeah, oh, absolutely, you betcha.
I would-
Everything I would ever send out would be bilingual,
Okay.
okay? That's just common sense, absolutely, okay? I want to communicate with everybody, okay? All right, so think about it, and we'll talk about it at our business meeting, okay? All right, next on the list is we have the Sickich annual engagement letter. This is their contract for the year.
I do have a question.
Okay.
Is our sewer system connected to the mobile home park?
No.
As well?
Oh.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, there's a small 4-inch line. I don't know if that, I mean, yeah, we do have I don't know why, but yeah, we do, so.
Yeah, why are we hooked to that? Because they're county.
Because they sell their sewage to us.
It was
So they had a septic,
Mhm.
and the park got too large to go to the septic field they had. So their only option to dispose of their sewer was to sell it to the village, and the village took it over. And we base their, correct me if I'm wrong, Crystal, but I believe they pay based off their water pumped.
Yeah, I don't know exactly this, I can tell you what it estimated, like the bill normally is, it's about like a $2,800, bill every month.
Yeah, so there is a flow meter that's in place that doesn't work, and it hasn't worked since we've been here, and nobody's wanted to spend the money to fix it because it is expensive. I wanna say when we got a quote in 20, it was, you know, $10,000, $12,000 to get the flow meter fixed. There's two sides of that. One side is you would get an accurate read of actually how much sewage they're sending to the village. And then the other side of it is, right now, since they're paying off based off their water, all of their water that's being ran outside, they're paying sewage on. So it's.
How, are we able to see what's happening coming out of there?
Yeah, there's a manhole there, but there again, it gravities from there all the way to the plant. So, because that's the highest part of town.
Well, stuff's coming from there.
Well, I'm just wondering if it's.
Well, it could be coming from there, it could be coming from anywhere.
Coming from- I know we've had problems from subdivision
Yeah,
area.
never mind.
We're actually looking into, you know, like kind of, for lack of a better word, like a fishing net.
Yeah.
We can put in the manholes in different parts of town
Yep.
to see where we're collecting the
That's
most
what they
stuff
ordered today,
from.
President.
Okay,
And then we can kind of isolate it from there. We're not gonna be able to say, okay, yeah, it's coming from this house.
Right.
But we'll be able to say it's, okay, a lot of it's coming from this area, a lot of it's coming from this area. Right now, we're looking at doing kind of a trial thing at the plant because, you know, our main focus is protecting that expensive equipment.
Mhm.
And then once we get something figured out down there that works better than what we have currently, we're gonna attack more manhole. Because it's tough, because with the sanitary system, everything is gravity. So you almost need to make a blockage
Mhm.
in order to catch everything, but if you make a blockage, you're making a blockage.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's, you know, we're trying to come up with the best case scenario. And this has all been very recently, all of a sudden. We haven't had this much of an issue in the past. We have had rags issues, which every town does. I mean, Papa Grove has it, some of our other communities we take care of have it. Rags it is an issue in every community. This extent that you guys have saw pictures of is almost unheard of. I don't know if there was a big blockage somewhere that broke free from somewhere or what the case was. We're monitoring the situation. We're gonna see if it continues to stay this bad or if it lightens up.
Yeah, I like that net idea, because you could.
okay.
Because
But
if
still,
you knew
consider-
where, you
cons-
could put notes
yeah.
on doors or something
Yeah,
where, like you said, only so many people watch the
Yeah.
videos and only so many people read it on our website. So if we know the area, we could address the houses in that area more.
And most towns have multiple lift stations, so you can kind of isolate the area better, where Capron, fortunate for you guys, is mostly flat, so everything just, you know, there's a high end of town in the sewer system and there's a low end. And it just
Yep.
gravities to the plant.
So you've already ordered some of these nets, so you're
And
gonna
it's
start.
in
We're
doing
kind
that?
of building one.
Gotcha.
We're trying to, so we're trying to do everything most cost effective. They make something that does this, well, it's like $1,800 for this net. Like, I can't justify spending your guys' money that way.
You know,
Okay.
they try to use a casting net because they have plastic stringers that go all through it, and it's like a very durable thing, and they're weighted as well. And then you give you different sizes, 1 inch, 3/8 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're making one.
Okay, so let's think about it. We'll talk about it again in a couple of weeks, decide what we want to do. All right, one more thing on the water. We got this email. I'm going to read it because not everybody has seen it. It says, "To whom it may concern, I am writing in regards to our water bill at 145 North 4th Street. My wife and I should like to see if any adjustments can be made to the total of our April water bill. Our total bill minus payment for March bill is about $654.35. Our average monthly bill is at $92, and we normally use 4 units of water. In the month of April, our outside water spigot was accidentally turned on and could have ran anywhere from 1 to 4 weeks before we noticed it. We had not used the outside water since the previous fall and had the water line in our basement that feeds it shut off. At some point in April, my wife used a hose that is attached to the same water line in our basement to clean something in our basement. To do so, she opened the valve inside the basement to turn on the inside water hose. After doing so, she left the valve open, not realizing the spigot in the backyard was in the open position. If either was left open from the previous fall or perhaps accidentally left on by one of our kids, we are not really 100% sure. Since it was accidentally left open when we turned on the inside valve, it continued to run most likely for at least a week or two without us knowing. Because of this, our meter that we used said we used 42 units or 42,000 gallons of water, so 38 units more than our regular use for the past 3 years that we have owned the house. I am looking to see if our bill can be adjusted since this was an accident and we definitely did not use 42,000 gallons of water. We do own this home and do pay taxes to this village. We have 2-year-old and 4-year-old boys. Because of their age, only live off one income as it makes most sense to care for them not being in school full time. What I would like to see happen is the town recognize this as an unfortunate accident and write off the extra charges or the 38,000 gallons we did not use and just charge us our normal 4 units. With the accidental water use, we have an extra $456 on our bill this past month. We definitely do not have the extra income at this time to pay that. I would also like to state that the extra 38,000 gallons of water ran from our backyard garden hose directly into the ground, and none of that went into the sewer system. Of the extra $350 of that is considered a sewer charge. At the very minimum, we should not be charged for the additional $350 sewer charge because that water did not enter the village's sewer system at all. At the very least, it is fair to remove the sewer charge, which would leave our total bill around $304. If we are just charged for the extra 38 units of water use. I work overnight shifts and are unable to personally be at the town meeting. I hope that this letter will thoroughly explain the situation with our water bill and the town will have some understanding for our circumstances and make reasonable adjustments to our bill. Our family has been residents and homeowners in Capron now for 3 years. We have taken care of our property well and have always paid our water bills. We hope that the board will understand that this was an accident and will be willing to remove the extra charges. Thank you for your time, and we hope that you will be able to work with us on a reasonable solution. Kindly regards, Ron and Veronica. So, again, we don't make any decisions at this meeting, but I want you all to think about what you think we should do. And my personal recommendation is probably to drop the sewer charge since they didn't use any sewer, but they did use the water. So that's my opinion. I would like you all to take the next couple of weeks and think about that also, and then we'll make a decision on it at our business meeting. Okay? Now, the next thing.
Can I add an opinion to it?
Hmm?
Can I add something?
Yeah,
to it?
sure.
I agree with you that the $350 should come off of that for the sewer. And they do pay their bill every month.
Yeah.
So, and times are hard for everybody right now.
Yeah.
So I'd like to take an additional $150 off the water part. That leaves them with a bill of $154.35. And that's more than what they normally pay, but it is,
Okay.
it is a little slap on the
Okay.
wrist of,
Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I don't have a
So
problem with that, but
so
that's
that's
something we'll
my-
talk about at
yeah.
our business meeting, okay?
Reasonable.
All right. Next thing on the agenda, hold on, I gotta find it, there it is. Changing the annual business meeting, not the annual, the next business meeting. The next business meeting is scheduled for Tuesday, May 24th, and May 24th is North Boone's graduation. And Rachel has a son graduating that night, and I got a granddaughter graduating that night. So what I would like to do is move that meeting from the 24th to the 25th. Same time, same location, same everything. And I checked with Tom, he's available for that also. So that's the only thing I need to make a decision on tonight, because we can't make it at the next meeting. So
I'll be in Poplar Grove that night.
that's okay, we don't need you here, okay?
Just let you
I
know.
hope we don't need you here, okay? All right.
So do we have to take a vote on this, or?
Well, I want to know if you all can make the meeting on the 25th,
Yeah.
Yeah,
okay?
that's fine.
All right, then we're going to change it to the 25th, okay?
President Bates' SIGID annual engagement letter needs to be done as well. Did you do the SIGID annual engagement letter?
Oh, no, I'm going to do that too. So this annual engagement letter from Sikich is just another contract for the next year. It spells out their hourly rates and everything, and if you want, we can get you the rates we currently pay. And we'll make these decisions again at the business meeting, and then we'll sign this and send it back to them. I personally think they've done a very good job helping us out on this. The audits are going well. They helped us on the 2022 budget, the 2023 budget. They're helping us keep all our books straight and our accounts on time and everything, so I think they're doing a very good job for us, and I don't think that we should change horses here. So review it, and we'll go over it in 2 weeks. And if anybody needs the current, we'll get it for them so they can compare apples and oranges, okay? Next on the list is Trustee Wakely with the sesquicentennial.
Alright, so I know last meeting it was, we were talking about getting rid of it. I was contacted by Barb.
Barb
uh,
Sager.
Yeah, Sager, about bringing it. She's interested in helping out with it. I know Rachel is, Linda. I don't think we should get rid of it. It's a big deal. So I'd like to continue seeing it go further. And Rachel's also.
I did email Barb. She does have some availability to come in and meet. She said that she'd be more than happy to come to a meeting and discuss what we would like to do in the way of what kind of budget are we looking at.
Right.
They're willing to hold it at the Lions Club, dates, things like that. But she
Okay.
expressed
And
interest.
when you have this meeting, if you could let everybody know,
Yes.
so if people are available, they can come to the meeting, so we know what's going on, help out a little bit.
One thing, this is not a subcommittee of the board, this is not a sanctioned
No.
board.
No.
So
No.
No.
so you don't have to comply with the Open Meetings Act, it's
Yeah.
just gonna be, yeah.
It's just a planning group, yeah. All the decisions will be made at this board.
Yeah, the board will make the decisions.
Okay.
It's just getting,
Okay?
Yeah.
There
It's an organizational meeting.
Yeah,
good.
that's all it is,
All
yep.
good.
Okay, all right, does anybody have anything else? Okay, yeah.
So for the library, I was talking to President Bank and just asking some questions that I think we should bring before everyone on the board. But I just want to be thinking about like what constitutes a successful one-year trial, and what kinds of rules are we going to be putting in place? Like, are we going to have what was it?
Well, you're gonna have a.
Fee, like,
Yeah, for, are you
late
gonna have a system for if people wanna check out a book, that you can keep track of who gets it and when it's supposed to be back? And are there gonna be late fees for people who don't bring their books back, or on time, or at all, or whatever? Those are all things to be discussed, yeah.
How many people have used the library so far?
None.
No, there has been.
Yeah.
Oh, there has been?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there was a young lady, and then there was a couple gentlemen that actually rented books.
All right.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't really advertised it
And the
yet,
only way that I
you know,
rented the books, I
so.
was just a copyright.
Well, I know that, the sign's out there, but you know what I mean. We haven't sent out anything saying our library's open, please come in during these hours. We haven't done any of that stuff
The
yet,
books are
because
all
that's what they're
cataloged.
planning for.
the books are all cataloged, however, they need to be put into an order. There needs to be a system in place of what book is getting checked out, and that's what I was working on.
Okay,
There's also been a resident that emailed me regarding trying to volunteer. I told her to contact you.
Yeah, I
Okay.
got back to it.
so things are in the works, it's gonna take a little bit of time, okay? But, yeah, I mean, people do use the library, I mean, they're not standing in line around the corner, but people do use it from time to time, so, okay? All right, anything else?
For matrix items,
Metrics, yeah.
yeah. Like how many volunteers did you get?
Yeah, yeah, again, yeah.
How consistent were the hours and that kind of thing, what days were required, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, again, anything else? Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, all opposed? Okay, meeting adjourned.
7:38.
Yeah.
I do. This is the second time you said
I wanna go away.
I don't know what happened. It's fine, just go ahead and just stop it.
It's not doing anything.
It's like frozen. Shut everything down. And that does it.
Alrighty, see y'all in a couple weeks. Remember, Wednesday the 25th, not Tuesday the 24th.
I'm so quiet.
It's too quiet in
I
here.
know, what happened?
I don't know.
Is everybody
All
okay?
tired from the heat.
It's the heat.
All right, to snooze.
We did kind of go straight from winter to.
Honestly, I would do it every year in this town. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, and I'll, put you that, those two words.
All right. And I have a tea time Thursday the 19th at 10:30, okay?
Yeah,
Oh, all right.
and like a date for like a grand opening or something.
Well, you gotta get all your parameters straightened out.
Is it still recording?
No, I don't think so.
Sound is still on, she's
No.
saying.
I couldn't get it off.
I know, I can't get the computer to shut down. Hang on one second. Oh, here we go.